think I'm finally feeling a little more confident. I don't think I need to cut any more headliner. I don't think I need to replace what I've cut, because it'll be hidden when I put the boat back together. In fact, it's hidden now. You can't see it unless you lay down on one of the settees. You can't see it anyway. And it'll create good access for the bolts for the stanchion, and it should create really good access for. I'm going to put epoxy up. I'm going to clean real good up in the below the side deck, under the tow rail, basically under the tow rail, and then I'm going to put this down into the hole. I'm going to lay down like this, so this will be the outboard edge. So I have to kind of put it in like this, and then like this, and like this, and then like this, and then I can hang it from either a bolt or maybe a bungee cord. I haven't decided yet. And if I need to, if it's too floppy when I make it in fiberglass, I'm going to drill down through the tow rails with a screw. I'm going to pull this up on both ends. So I'll use a rope or something to hold it in place. So what I'll do, I'll glue the inside, and I'll come out here. I'm going to use this slow cure hardener, and then I'm going to glue this will be fiberglass. I'm going to make this out of fiberglass. I'll glue here and here, well really here, 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 and here, and then, yeah. And then also, let's see, and then I'll glue this edge too. Same thing below deck. So I'll glue them with unthickened epoxy. And then I'll put this down in, wearing rubber gloves of course, get it into position. And then once it's in position, I'll slide it back, and I'm going to drop some thickener and mix it into my epoxy. And then I'm going to put thickened epoxy in those same places, exactly where I glued it. Here, 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 and around here. Yep. And then I'm going to fix it in place. And then if I'm going to use screws, which I probably will, I'll probably screw down from the tow rails into here and here, pull them up tight. And then I'm going to go below deck or above deck, I haven't decided yet, and I'm going to squeeze thickened epoxy into the tow rails from this end and from this end until it's full. And I'm going to, I don't know, I may tape it off or something, I'm not sure if that'll be necessary. I may put a tab at the end, because I could. There's a good place for a tab at the end if I want to, but it's really not going to be that effective because all of this is going to be covered with either thickened epoxy or epoxy and bonded either to the bottom of the deck or the inside of the tow rail. Then, after that cures, I'll come back and I'm going to fit this piece. This piece will fit down into it, and I may have to regrind a little bit to make this fit because epoxy might get in places where I don't want it. All of the surfaces that this is going to touch can be cleaned, so I can remove any blush that this is going to touch. So I'll clean again with water, and may hit it with acetone and dewaxing again. And then I may have to grind this to make sure it fits. And then once I do, I'm going to place this in and epoxy this into place. Once I have both these in place, that creates the platform that I can put laminations onto and build up the deck. And I'm going to build it up with 1708 cloth and chop strand mat. It's a tape that has cloth and chop strand mat together, and I've used it before for a couple of repairs and for lamination. And it works fine with epoxy. I haven't had problems with the chop strand mat with the epoxy. It's built very strong laminations. In fact, this is a sample of a lamination that I made. This is what I drilled out of the lamination that I made as the backer for my through hull. The chop strand mat's on the bottom, and the cloth is on the top, and it's layered, of course. And so I'm going to build a lamination just like this. except I'm going to use slow cure this time just because I'm going to take my time to do it. And then I'm going to build up the deck. I'm going to keep the deck low and feather it in. And after I do the deck, I'm going to fair it with epoxy with fairing filler in it. It's all epoxy so far. I'm going to keep it a little bit low so that I can put primer. There's a special primer that I can use for epoxy that'll be compatible with gel coat. I'm going to wait until the epoxy cures for a couple weeks. So I'm going to probably install my... after I'm done with the epoxy, I'm going to install my stanchion probably with no gel coat and no primer after it's faired, but still a little bit low, maybe 50 mils low or something. And I'm going to put it in the water. I'm going to let it sit for a couple weeks, and then I'm going to take the stanchion off, and then I'm going to do the primer and the gel coat. Possibly. We'll see. I'm going to talk to Jamestown, see what they say about that. But it's a plan, and I think it has a high chance of success. Some people would disagree. I know people have thought that I should pull out more of the headliner and just build it up one layer at a time from beneath. And I can see the advantages of that because I would have more time. I wouldn't worry about it kicking because I would use laminating polyester. I think this is better. I think this is going to work better because I'm going to build this really strong backing block, and that backing block is going to tie into the deck via the toe rails. The hull liner, where the hull liner is resting, it's going to lay right on the hull liner, and it's going to tie into the hull as well. It's going to tie all of them together at this one point. Hopefully there's not movement between those things that's going to cause this point to break loose, but if it does, it should stay fast to the deck. I don't think it's ever going to let go of the deck, but I'll see stress cracks where the other things connect to it. And if that's the case, then maybe I'll have to redo this repair, or maybe I'll have to take the toe rail and really the rub rail off and build something further down around the side of the deck to take more stress and transfer more stress to keep the deck all stable with the repair, which I don't know. Anyway, it's a theory. I want to get sailing, and I want this to be safe, and I think it's going to be safe.